Hey, how you guys doing? It's KLA on a Sunday evening, and I'm here with my guest. Her name is Elizabeth Zysik. She's an all natural bodybuilding competitor, and she's here to discuss how she got into fitness, and along with other things on a fitness journey. Thank you, Miss Zysik. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
really
pleasure.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Yeah, yeah. So I seen you on Instagram, and I was curious. How long you been competing?
So I just finished my first full year of competing. And I'm 47 right now. When I was 46, and then I had turned 47 as I ended my first year. So I did 9 competitions in my first year.
Wow, that's a lot. Like,
It's
why,
a
why,
lot.
why the constant? Why the constant? Just back and forth. Like you wanted to get your pro card, or
Well, yeah, there was that. Like I initially like this sport is like a lot of people consider it kind of like a bucket list thing. I've met so many
right?
competitors backstage who are like, this is my only show I'm ever gonna do. I sometimes people lose a lot of weight and they want to just make it to the stage. That's their goal. And I
Right.
didn't really know like what I wanted to do because of the way that I got into it was just kind of on a dare by someone. And I found myself here that this place that I'm like, I'm here to stay. Like, I love it so much that, yeah, I ended up just getting so hooked on it. Like, I really, really loved the whole, everything that goes into it, leading up to the show day, and all the people you meet are just so amazing along the way.
Yeah, wow. I mean, usually, sometimes I would hear, bodybuilders how they started. Sometimes it was a bet with family members and stuff like that. So yeah,
Yes,
yeah. What was
exactly.
the bet about?
So my best friend is an amputee from the right knee down. When we were little girls, she lost her lower half of her right leg, and she tells everybody, "I would never have wished to have lost my leg. However, I wouldn't be the person I am today if I didn't lose my leg." So she went on to be the leading scorer of our varsity soccer team in high school. And then, as soon as we graduated high school, she joined the U.S. Paralympics slalom ski racing team,
Mm.
and she won the gold medal in Japan in the Nagano Olympics. And then she ran the Boston Marathon on like one leg, and I'm like, she has always inspired me so much. If she can do like all of this, like what can I do, right? So she contacted me about 2 years ago, and she was like, "Hey, I have a crazy idea." And knowing her, it literally could have been anything in the world because she's kind of like she does crazy things. She said,
Yeah.
"How about a bikini competition?" She said, "I know you always lifted weights, and I've never even like picked up a weight, but I was thinking we could do this together." And I was like, "No way. No, I have no interest in, putting a suit on and going out in public, like for people to see me like that. But if you do it, I'll fly out to California and watch you." So I didn't think anything of it ever again until I got a text that said, "Here's your flight to California. You're going to watch this competition." And I flew out there, and I was in the front row when my best friend took first place in true novice in the figure division.
That's cool.
When
Wow.
she walked off the stage, though, when she walked off the stage and came over to me, she said in her words, "Nothing feels as good as what I just did right now." She said, "Not the gold medal in the Olympics, not the Boston Marathon, nothing compares to how amazing I feel." And she said, "And I want you to feel this way."
Mm.
So
Yeah.
6 months later, I flew her to Syracuse, which is my hometown, Syracuse, New York. And she watched me take first as a bikini novice in Syracuse.
Wow, wow, that's cool. Correct me if I'm wrong. You said she was amputated.
Yes. Yep. My
Oh,
girlfriend.
wow.
Yep. My best friend lost the lower half of her right leg when she was like 4 years old. Yeah.
Wow, that's wow.
So that was my
Was she nervous?
inspiration.
Did
Was
she
she
ever tell you? Was she nervous, like just doing that, or it
to do
just
the competition?
yeah?
No, she wasn't nervous, but that was the point where she said to me, when I flew out there, she looked so amazing. Like her transformation in that 6 months was like nothing I could have imagined. And she was right. Like I have always worked out, always, all the different fads, Taebo in the 90s, like, everything.
Yeah.
I did everything. And her body transformation in prepping for a bodybuilding competition, I was like, I have to do this because I'm lifting weights a lot and I'm not looking like she is. Like, what
Right.
do I have to do? So immediately I hired a coach who's a bikini pro, and started working with her. And I did a very short prep. Jen's was like 6 months. I did like a 12-week prep before I got on stage in Syracuse. And in those 12 weeks, I lost a little more than half my body fat and about 26 pounds.
Okay. Yeah. 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 Excuse me for a second. We have a guest. I got a little distracted. All the rage George Page. Yeah, he's a friend to the room, and yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. Like, is your friend still competing at this moment, or she just like took time off, or?
She was a one and done. She said to me, I told you it was a bucket
Oh,
list thing, but
oh
she had
wow.
no idea that she would, inspire me to do not just one, but 9. And the funny thing about the competitions is it really depends where the person is in their life if they're considering competing, because at that time for me, I didn't just end up competing like 9 times. I also went back to college and um, just kind of decided to do some different things with my life that I never
Yeah,
would have done without, because I guess it's like when you realize you can change your physical body so much, you realize there is nothing you can't do. Nothing. Like nothing. I could go back to
yeah,
school, I could, career change, anything. You could do anything you want. It's
yeah,
it's so life-changing.
yeah. I mean, I've attended bodybuilding shows, a couple of bodybuilding shows. I never like experienced that, bodybuilding lifestyle. Just it's kind of amazing, how they transform their body into that. It's real discipline, and it's not easy for me to make good food choices and stuff. you know,
Yes,
so
yes,
that's like
exactly.
a constant battle for me a little bit.
Oh
Gaining
yeah.
some pounds. You're in your 50s a bit. You gotta take it easy with the sweets, and definitely make healthy choices in your life.
Yes, I
So but
I
this
used to I used to think like before when I would see people compete, I used to think like it has to be like 80%, you know, uh, weightlifting and like
yeah
10% nutrition, maybe 10% genetics. And now I know without a doubt in my mind, going through the prepping procedures, um, your nutrition intake is every gram of food is tracked, along with every step you take. You're tracked. Everything is tracked.
yeah
What goes in, what you burn, and I now know that it is literally like 99% nutrition, 1%, like not even a half a percent genetics, and like a little bit weightlifting. Because, like I said, I had always worked out, like I had always lifted weights. But to really hit that cut, you have to follow a pretty precise plan that, yeah, once you get it, it just clicks and it's like flips your world upside down.
yeah. Well, let me show you. Let me show some clips of you in action. Yeah, like on your first show, like how did you start off? Like did you had a coach, right? I'm assuming you had a coach, and like what was it like? If you could take me there, like was you nervous or was it hard? Like just
Yeah,
being like disciplined.
yeah, no, I wasn't like nervous at all. I did fly my
Yeah,
friend out. My friend who had inspired me, I flew her out to watch me
yeah,
compete. And she was backstage with me along with my coach, who made a long drive to be there to support me in person for my first show. And I wasn't nervous. It was so much fun. Like it was so much
mm,
fun because you put so much into it, right? Like the 12 weeks of prep that I had. You put so much into it, and it's not just like the nutrition and the lifting plan. It's also like every single day you have to practice posing, like what you're going to do
yeah,
when you actually get out there, and you have to have like an individual routine. Yours is different from everyone else's. You have to make up a routine that you're going to perform. Um, so I wasn't scared at all. But I just remembered thinking this was like the most fun day. It was just so much fun that like I said, I ended up doing 8 more shows after that.
wow, wow. That's a lot. Like the 8 shows, like does it to a point where you felt that, oh man, I gotta fall back, doing these shows, or like, and then what like what was your favorite show, if I could ask you
Um,
that?
you know what? Every single show that I did was like so amazing because at every single show I did, whether I drove 10 hours to get on stage and compete, I was in like 4 or 5 different states in those 9 competitions. And pretty much every single show, I left feeling like that was the best weekend of my life because I learned so much about like myself and just everything. And I grew like as a competitor. Each show I learned. And also in those 9 shows, 2 of those shows I competed not in bikini, which is one of the categories that competitors, female bodybuilders, can go out in. I went out in a brand new category called fit model, which
Okay.
is very simple, and it just came out into the world of competitive bodybuilding
Yeah,
January of 2025.
yeah,
So last year, as soon as it came out, I was like, I want to compete in this. So it's a totally different suit. I had to order and have another one made that was, specifically for fit model, and totally different posing on stage. And um, but like I said, every show was so amazing. I had so much fun at every show. I really couldn't pick a favorite. However, that last one where I got the pro card was like, it was like the icing on the cake because that I knew that was my last show for a while. You do need to like take a break. It's not
right.
healthy to be so super lean for so long, especially like, for a woman, um, with hormonal and all those kinds of things come into play. You don't like sleep very well when you're under like 10% body fat. It's tough to stay down there that low. Um, so I did end up taking like a little bit of time off last summer. I went to Europe with my daughter, which was just amazing. And it's so great to be able to like
Mm,
eat the foods you want to eat. And I don't even think we worked out at all. We just walked a lot in Italy.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. It's. I mean, you did 9 shows. I mean, I think, and you got your pro card. I think you deserve to take a break. Now, how long is your break? Like, is it a year
Well, right
of a
now,
break?
I'm
Yeah.
back at it. I'm back at it right now. I took
Yeah.
this, yeah, I took the summer off last summer.
Oh, okay.
My coach was like, yeah, we need to like reverse out. They call it a reversal when you're trying to like, it's basically eating all the healthy foods that you would eat in your prep, but you just eat a lot more of them.
Yeah.
So in my reverse diet, I got to enjoy the summer with my kids, and it was so amazing. And then this past fall, I did those last 2 shows to make 9, and my ninth final one was where I got my pro card.
Okay. Well, let me read some chats. He wanna know he came late. So, what inspires you as a bodybuilder? You know what? She said that her friend she was amputated, and they did like a dare, and she invited her friend. The friend invited her to do a bodybuilding show, and she got inspired by it. Am I saying it right? I got
Yeah.
everything.
Yes,
Okay.
when we were little girls, my like very little girls, my best friend became an amputee, and she went on to inspire me my whole life. But most recently, she changed my whole life by introducing me to this. It was a bucket list thing for her. She
Right.
wanted to just do this once, and I am still going.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That maybe it was meant for your friend to do it and then inspire you. Yeah, I don't know. You ever thought about that, or you
Yeah,
just
yeah, I did. I did. I really did because it was just it's amazing how much,
yeah,
she inspired me and changed my life. But like you said, you have been to some bodybuilding competitions
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
did you feel like so inspired at them by the men and the
Well,
women?
you, well, the for me, with me, I was interviewing somebody that did the OCB show,
Hmm.
and some other people that did IFBB, and they told me to check out a bodybuilding show. Like I went to the New York Pro. Even this gentleman here, all of age George Page, he was telling me check out a bodybuilder show, and I just decided to go, and it was a different world for me, and seeing these people, I didn't really see like too many um average looking people like myself, when I was at the New York Pro. But when I went to the OCB, I seen I would say some decent amount of average people,
Okay.
as the audience,
Yeah, was it the
and
OCB? Were you at the OCB Big Apple? It's called
oh,
the Big Apple?
yeah, I went, yes, I was at the OCB Big Apple. I'm sorry, I
Okay.
didn't be Pacific.
I've
I was at the OCB, and I went to the Double Down, that
okay.
the like months later, you know. Yeah,
Yes.
this
So
recently I tried to go to the OCB, but it was a disaster for me. But it's my fault. But yeah, I probably might go to some other shows, maybe this year. It depends, it all depends.
yes,
Yeah.
the
How was
show
your
that
OCB experience?
I've done several OCB shows, and
Okay.
I love the OCB. I love it. I love the natural federations, the ANBF, the American Natural, where I got my pro card, the OCB, and the WNBF. Those are three federations that I really love because um, the day before you go on stage, every competitor has to take a polygraph exam.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yep. And then when you win your pro card in a natural federation, you have to be urine tested to you know seal the results of your pro card win, and that's immediately right after you come off stage. So, but I really love it because I love the idea that all of the women who are on stage with me, we're all like doing the same thing in our gym. We're all, on like a level playing field. Because like I said to you before, I have competed in like IFBB, which is the NPC, the National Physique
Yeah.
Committee.
Yeah.
I have competed in a couple of those events, and I actually placed like pretty well
Yeah.
in bikini. However, in not so much in bikini, but still in bikini, when it's a natural competitor next to somebody who doesn't, typically do the natural federations like I do, oftentimes, the difference is pretty real, like muscle
Mhm.
development and stuff like that. So the women that I compete with and my dear friends who I've met along the way, most of us
Mhm.
are in the natural federations.
Okay. Yeah. 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 Um, Let me read this chat. It's a lot easier as a bodybuilder when you have the time and discipline. Yeah. Now, you study journalism. I understand, right?
I did,
Are
yeah. My
you
undergrad was in
okay?
journalism. Yeah.
Okay. Is that are you seeking a job that, or you work somewhere else, or
I do manage the our family's dental practice. So I do have
oh,
an
okay.
MBA. I have a master's in business. So some people do say that, like, oh, I wish I had the time for that, or I wish I could be that disciplined. Um, but honestly, like the time for it, when I travel with my family, I find myself waking up in the 4 a.m. hour to go run like several miles before anyone wakes up. So we all have the same 24 hours in the day, right? Like, um, making time for it is so life changing because I never did that before. Like I said to you earlier, like I always was like, geez, I'm really like lifting and doing all the things. Why is nothing changing? Tying in those tight nutritional guidelines with your lifting program and your cardio, it all comes together so well. But I do work, and I did go back to school this past year to further my journalism education. And so I don't have like a lot of time in the day, but I schedule my days so that I make sure there is like, when you're doing this, there's certain things that are like, I make cookies for all of my kids' games, any of their sporting events. I'm the cookie mom. Like I bring the cookies to all the games. Everybody said to me, how do you make all these cookies all the time and you never eat one? And I'm like, you don't understand. When you pull the trigger to compete in bodybuilding, it's not even on the table. Like you're not going to have a chocolate chip cookie. You're not even having a chocolate chip. You know
you
what I
ever
mean?
thought about having you ever thought about like making like gluten-free chocolate chip cookies? I don't know. Would that work
Um,
for you?
I could, but there's something funny about it. It's like once you're in this, you are in it
Yeah.
to follow your plan with your coach to like perfection. And that cookie and that piece of pizza that I have after a show is like it's so much better, right? When you go so long, it's just I don't know. It's not for everybody. It's definitely not for
Yeah.
everybody because I recently read something that said, judges don't care how well you dieted. They're looking at your physique. They want to see how hard you worked in the gym, that kind of thing. And if this is like, if competing is something that's like, you know, if you're suffering, like if you're starving and, maybe it's not for you, um, because it shouldn't be like a miserable experience. The reason why I'm still here is I love the whole experience, the discipline,
Yeah.
the self-control, the discipline to get up in the morning and get the cardio and in, and just, I've also learned how I used to think that I ate pretty healthy. I did.
Mhm.
And then I got into this and I'm like, I can't believe like I was putting those certain things like into my body, like I shouldn't be doing this. It's more whole foods like fruits, vegetables, rice, those kinds of things, and less like, and anything processed is kind of like off the table. A lot of like fish and chicken.
But what was your prep like when you was cutting the foods? Was you eating like the same thing, rice and chicken, and or
So my meal plan is like the same thing. It's boring because it's like 5 meals a day,
yeah,
exact same time every day. I eat the exact same amount of every food, but they're foods that I really, really love. Like you can have fun with it and kind of like twist things up a little bit with seasoning and stuff like that. But yeah, like I love the idea that each one of those 5 meals, it's not just like Okay, that's your breakfast, that's your lunch. It's like each one of those 5 meals has like 30 grams of protein, like 5 grams of fat. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Each meal is like designed so that you're hitting everything you need to hit to fuel your body for those gains in the gym.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's I wanted to go piggyback on you said you did fit model. Yeah, like over the summer I went to a MPC show, Mr. Universe. And yeah, they had fit model, they had bikini, and they had wellness. And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I attended one of the shows there. Yeah. I mean, not too people, they're not too crazy about fit model. Like, it came as a fresh new sport, and the women they kind of resemble the bikini competitors, excuse my stuttering, back in the
Yep.
day,
Yes.
and
Yes, very much.
and then some people feel like it's going to evolve into something else. Like, what's your take on that? Like, are you going to remain competing as a fit model, or
I don't think so because like I said to you, I really wanted to give it a try as soon as it came out because
yeah,
I love the simplicity of the posing and I love that you are not supposed to be like as lean as we get in bikini. Um, I really love that. Like they don't want to see the muscle striations. They don't want to see the tie-ins, the glutes and hamstrings where they tie in the backs of your legs. They don't want to see that in Fit
right,
Model. So the first time I did Fit Model, it was in sort of in the middle of like a bikini run that I was doing all these shows. And I did not place very well at all. The judges said, you are way too lean. Like, we need you to be in the 16% body fat range. And I was hanging out closer to 10. So then I went back and did another one because this is like me versus me. It's like, you don't care who's out there with you. I just wanted to really place better the second time I got on stage as a fit model. So I pulled up to this competition out on Long Island as fit model this past fall. And I placed, I placed better and I did pretty well. So I was happy with that, but they were telling me that I needed to get leaner by this fall.
yeah,
Whereas in April, they were saying you're way too lean. So I think it is already going, they don't want the girls to be, like, say, as soft as they did when it first came out a
yeah,
year ago. Now they want them to
yeah,
be more lean and more shredded. Really, they are looking
yeah.
for feels like the
They're gonna
tie-ins.
look like pretzels.
Right, right. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's very like how do you see bodybuilding? Like, do you see it complicated? Do you see it as a sport? Do you see it as a lifestyle? I'm sure you'll pick the lifestyle part. You know.
It's definitely a lifestyle, definitely a lifestyle. And like I said before, it is not a lifestyle for everybody. A lot
Yeah.
of people, one thing that competitors should know going into it is that um, some people will think not so good things about you. They'll think, you might be selfish for, taking care of yourself and trying to push yourself to a new level. So I've heard that even people like in your own family can say, they don't like you doing this, they're not comfortable with
Mm.
it. So
Yeah.
it is definitely something that, each person has to kind of like think about in advance. But it is a lifestyle for sure. And like we've said, I always tried to be in good shape, whatever that was at the time, even um, like postpartum, like after I have 4 kids. So after each one of my kids, it was important for me. I always wanted to start walking again um, and being more physical and kind of trying to get myself back into a good shape. But yeah, so it's definitely a lifestyle, but it's also definitely a sport. This is competitive. It's very competitive, but it's also, the competitor versus themselves. That's it.
Yeah, yeah. Do you look at other sports? Do you have like interest in other sports where you like athletic, or you just, or this was like the first um athletic experience you have done in your
Well,
life? Oh,
well,
you
like
said you did a marathon. You was a
no,
marathon.
no, no, no.
Oh
My
no,
girlfriend, my
your
girlfriend did the
girlfriend. Okay,
marathon.
okay. All
Yes,
right,
my
all right,
inspiration. She did the Boston Marathon.
all right.
No, we played soccer in high school and that kind of thing. Just
Okay,
always running, walking, just a lot of like outdoor stuff like we did growing up in the 80s and
yeah,
90s. That's just what we did. But yeah, but the thing that's like interesting for me is that there are different categories. Like for bikini, you can go out on stage as 45 plus, you can go out as 35 plus. There's teen division, but there's also just the regular open that anybody that is at that show in bikini can compete in. And so a lot of times I have placed second, behind someone who was like half my age. So it's
okay,
interesting. It's a sport, and it is a little bit like segmented, like based on age and
yeah.
different divisions. Like my friend Jen in California, she was a figure competitor, and I'm bikini. Totally different everything.
Right.
So
Would you want to remain bikini, or you want to move up to another division, maybe
no,
like a
I
figure?
no, because people always say like, "What's the difference?" Like, aren't you all going out there in a suit? And it's like, no. The difference is so for bikini, we have like try to highlight like an hourglass shape. Like we have to have
Right.
bigger shoulders. We really spend a lot of time in the gym working on our shoulders and a very small waist, and then larger glutes. So lower half we really work on. And then like I have a couple of dear friends who are figure. They do more like back, lats, quads in the front. Their legs are, and the waist doesn't really matter so much. So really, each different division is sort of like showcasing your style, your body, your physique. Really, it's highlighting if you're somebody who has like that hourglass frame, like you're like a petite, that would
Right.
bikini would be your yeah.
Is there
Yeah, and then
somebody in bikini that stands out to you?
um there's a lot of amazing bikini athletes. My coach is a huge inspiration to me. She became a pro like 20 years ago when when it wasn't. Like now it's becoming so popular. A lot of people are trying to get into this now.
Yeah,
And she was one of the early ones in competitive bikini. Yeah,
yeah. That's good. That's good. You got somebody to hold on for a second. I'm gonna showcase the check. The criteria keeps changing. That's why the judges need to stick with the fundamentals of the divisions.
right. Just
Yeah,
for fit model, especially just because it was new. And for fit model, they brought this out last January, just over a year ago, and it was kind of what we were hearing in the bodybuilding world was that, oh, this might be a great starting point for someone if they're considering bodybuilding, because maybe this is like an easier, you know,
right.
division. Another school of thought was um, maybe for like older people, people, more mature women who don't want to have such a sculpted bikini physique. So
Yeah,
those were the two kind of like schools of thought that came out last year when Fit Model was announced. But really, it's not, it's pretty much bikini now. It feels
yeah.
like it to me. And that's me who's done a couple of these competitions as a Fit
What
Model. So
The well, I know like the New York Pro, they're gonna have the Fit Model Pro. I think the Fit Model correct. They're gonna have Fit Model. I think either pro or amateur. I'm not sure, but they're gonna have Fit Model in the New York Pro because they
Yes,
cut. I noticed they cut off women's bodybuilding, and that's for some that's very upsetting. And there's a lot of hardcore female bodybuilder fans,
right,
women
for sure.
bodybuilder fans, and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
they feel that they look at Fit Model kind of a threat. I don't know. That's the word. Some might not admit it, but that
Yeah, no, I
they
agree
they they're not crazy about it. That's the whole thing.
because
And
it's a change. It's like a
yeah,
change that
yeah,
and like the text that you just read said, it's like things are changing. It's so fluid. It's crazy because there I was in April and I was told I was way too lean. So I came in a little bit higher in November and they said I needed to
mm.
cut leaner, so it's
I-
like,
yeah,
and actually, to be fair, backstage, a lot of my girlfriends who were competing with me in Fit Model, we were like, "What is going on? Like, what do they want from us?" We had you don't you people really didn't
mm,
know, and we still like all the time
yeah.
things are coming out
I
saying
think
we're
they not to cut you off. I'm sorry. I think they're just trying to figure it out. They kind of they wanted to be. It seems to me like they wanted to be acceptable in society, so probably more people can come to shows and stuff like that to understand what bodybuilding is. Because like if they showcase the huge freakish type of women, people might be turned off. And I see it all the time. It's not like I see that people reaction to it. It's like she looked like a man, or they they look at it like a upside down smile. Like that's the
yeah,
best way I could say it. It's not accepted in society, so they put out these other divisions and they don't care. They just wanted to make it fit. I'm trying
right.
to understand it more,
Well,
about it.
also I think like that category, the female bodybuilders, was shrinking. Like not so many women
Yeah.
were going in
Yes.
that
Yeah.
way,
That too. That too. Yeah. That
and as I
too.
said, like it seems like nowadays like a lot more people are trying to get into this, like, oh, I want to give it a try, like I want to make it to the stage. A lot of people in this day and age are like thinking they want to get into bikini, and that's why
Yeah.
we were hearing that this Fit Model came out as sort of like a stepping stone to get, if you wanted to just try out the stage, you could be softer than bikini. But it's definitely evolving, like right now even. I
Yeah.
don't even know. I don't know what's ahead. I'm
Yeah.
happy in
Did,
bikini.
I don't know if you're familiar with this person. Her name was Rachel McLish, and this somebody had posted it on IG about her, that she had the fit model type look. She wasn't so muscular. She won the first Miss Olympia,
Okay. Yep.
and yeah, she had that face where people would accept her. Like she wasn't muscle bound, or she, yeah, like she was more of a bikini type model, like maybe almost looked like your type, if I could say
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she was in talk shows, and she even did like movie roles and all that type of stuff. And if others have done it too, but she stood out, I think a little bit more. It's argued about, but she was more accepted in society with her look,
Yep.
where somebody huge, they may not have been accepted to that point. I think that's where what I'm trying to say. I think that they're trying to find that look, that 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 aesthetic look in
Yes.
female bodybuilding.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
Yeah,
I agree. Yes.
yeah. And it's like it doesn't matter like how many what's the word I'm trying to look for? Like trials and error they
Yeah.
go through. They're gonna, yeah. So
And it's also like it's not like very cheap to do these shows. It's a
yeah,
big money maker, you know,
yeah, I
just
know.
for sure. It's like if more women think I'm just gonna go give this a try, you know, it's like that's a
Yeah,
lot of money. Yeah.
yeah. How long do you think you'll do it? Like competing?
Um, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Like
you still new to it, you
I'm
know.
still
So
here. Yeah, I'm still
yeah,
here. I'm not sure like um my the owner, the president of the American Natural Bodybuilding Federation, I asked him the same question recently. I said, like, you know, you have a pro card in every federation that there is. You know, he's just absolutely amazing. He's been doing this for like 4 decades. I'm like, when are you going to be done? He's like, well, you know, when I don't feel like I can do it anymore, or if I'm just not able to like keep up with competitors. And he's like, I still can. So just
oh,
as long as it's fun, right? As long as it's like
right.
fun and I love doing it and I'm pushing myself. But you know, I did go back to school and I am very excited to do some other things with my life too. So I'm definitely not doing 9 competitions a year from here on out.
Right. Out of curiosity, like why did you go to other organizations? Like to you just wanted to just fill it out, like just
Yes.
see, okay.
Exactly. Yeah, some people just pick a federation and stay with that federation. Um, when I got my pro card in the ANBF, that was my first time ever competing in the ANBF, and I literally fell in love with the federation. Like right when I got there, everything was just so amazing. It was in southern New Jersey, in early December, and the whole event was put on so well that I was like, this feels so good. Like I just loved everything about it. But like I said, OCB, the WNBF, like really, really fun. And I love them because they're natural, and everybody's competing on a equal playing field.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. The hold on. The hardest part is trying to be mainstream. Even those women back then had struggles to become more accepted. So, and he also says it's going to be the first year for the fit model for Olympia qualification.
Yes.
He says
Because
that.
this past year in 2025, at all the big NPC shows is where fit models were winning pro cards in that division. So yeah, there would be, you know, competing at the pro level or Olympia.
Is there somebody that interests you in fit model? Like, well, I don't know. It's kind of new, so I don't think that you
Yeah,
would.
not really,
Right.
because this is the crazy part is like I have some um, female, you know, fit model amazing athletes that I really love watching, and
Right.
they're not placing so great because they
Mm.
and I'm like, how are they not winning their pro card? Like they're amazing, but yeah, so it's just evolving. We'll have to see.
Okay. And you got a question for you. I think you answered it. How do you feel? How do your family feel about you being a bodybuilder?
Well, my kids are like so busy. They're all amazing athletes and students, and so they all like at their ages, they all do their own thing. Um, oh, my mom fell in love with like the person that I became because it's like you're on your show day, the you know the suit and the heels and the glam. That's just like not even it. Like it's like the getting up at 4 a.m. It's the dedication and it's believing in yourself that my mother absolutely fell in love with, you know, how I was changing as a person. And finally, for the first time in my entire life, I'm almost 50, like putting myself on the list of priorities. I always, you know, took care of everybody else before myself. And now it's like I can do something for myself. And not everybody likes to see that, because it's a thing. People see you changing as a person, and yeah. So my mom's like definitely my biggest cheerleader. She goes to every show, loves it, just loves it.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. How's your husband? Does he's like seeing you compete on
Yeah, I
stage?
mean, uh, yeah, he's quite busy, with his practice. He's a dentist, and so he's quite busy with that.
Okay,
And these
yeah, yeah,
shows
it's
often
definitely.
take, several days around a weekend. And for me, I was traveling a lot, so my mom and I would go to these different states and pick up these competitions that really took up a lot of time. But yes, he would, even though he doesn't, compete or anything like that, he does say that he is so glad that I found something that is,
Yeah,
filling my heart like this.
yeah. I mean, as long as you feel happy about it, yeah. I mean, yeah, yeah. I noticed you have a ANBF jacket.
Yes,
That's pretty
yes.
cool.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
is we just got down here to the Bahamas, and I was like, this is going to be my travel gear for today. So it's a neat thing, because just randomly people will be like, "Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Like, how do you compete? Like, how did you get into it?" People always ask, "How did you get into it? Is it hard? What do you eat? Like, how long a day
That's
do you have
pretty
to work
good.
out?"
Yeah, that's
And
awesome. Like I feel like female bodybuilders, it doesn't matter what division it is, they gotta represent themselves. They gotta sell themselves. They're like a brand. And if you
yeah,
don't, put yourself out there, people not gonna really care. They just gonna be like, this is a sport, because it's ignored already, so you gotta put yourself out there. I noticed that there's like this clip of you have like you're in a cover of a magazine, or
yes, yes. So that's Strong Fitness Magazine. It's the number
okay.
one female bodybuilding magazine in North America, and they are headquartered out of Toronto.
Mm,
So yeah, my coach really suggested. She said, "You've worked so hard," and that edition right there, that Best Body Guide. She said, "I would love to
yeah,
see if you can, be a fitness model for this amazing magazine." And that was like a life-changing experience in itself. The first time I um, went up to the studio of Paul Busetta and did the fitness shoot with him at Strong. It was amazing. But one of the things that I love the most is the best compliment, like probably I've ever gotten, is, "Do you compete?" It's like so cool, right?
yeah, yeah. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You just seeing you smile, light up. I know you're really like your what's the word I'm looking for? Like
Fulfilled.
your passion. You have like a new passion, a fulfillment. Yeah,
Yeah,
a fulfillment.
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Do you have any words for somebody that struggles with dieting or curious about bodybuilding?
I do. I was just going to say that lately, I have been getting so many women from all over the place, the US, but like also other countries, saying, how can I start this? Like, I just want to see, like, what you're doing. So I kind of decided
Mm,
to just use my own Instagram as like, if I can do this, like, you can do this too. Like, if you want to do it as a woman 45 plus with 4 kids, like, if I can do this, like, I believe any woman could do this if she wanted to.
right.
A lot of people are like, I don't necessarily want to get on stage and compete, but I definitely want to like improve my life. Like, I want to, learn how to eat better and that kind of thing. So definitely. I have shared like a bunch of different meals, like we had talked about earlier, making sure that you have like your protein, your fat, your carbs in a good balance in a meal that is like yummy that you look forward to. So I have shared some of that stuff that are like super easy, that like anybody could do, you know? So for sure, I would say I believe that anybody, you know, could push themselves to the next level, whatever that next level is for them.
That's good. So let me reiterate back. Like you're not gonna compete. You started trying to get back to competing this year, right? Because you took
Yes.
some time off.
Yep. I took the last couple months off from when I won my pro card.
Okay.
I took a little bit of time off for the holidays, and um, 4 weeks from this coming Saturday, I'll be getting back
Yeah.
on stage.
Okay. All
So I'm
right.
4 weeks out right now. So
Okay. Okay. We asking, it's about finding something that gives your life a new direction for anyone who is serious about bodybuilding. Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely.
yeah.
It gives you, and you know, who wouldn't want to like feel healthier? You know, it's so good for you.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta. I mean, I mean, it's important because when you at a certain age, your body goes against you. You know,
Definitely. And
I've
also,
witnessed. Not to cut you off. I witnessed that in family members. You know,
yes,
yeah, they don't. They don't take care of themselves. Their body just kind of shuts down, and it's almost like you got to take care of a baby again. And
yes, that's the whole
so
thing about it is that um, if people, you know, 40s, that kind of thing, start really like, you know, lifting weights for women and working on, you know, keeping muscle, it's everything is just so much better for your total health, just how you feel day to day, you know. Um, it's just a huge life changer.
I don't know. I want to play this video and see your thoughts about it for a second. All right.
The statement is women are just as physically strong as men, to which you circled that you agree.
I'm stronger.
You're stronger than some men?
I'm stronger than a lot of men. And also the way that the female body develops muscle, it's like the muscle that we develop is less, but it's actually stronger. Like it can lift more. I'm just super strong.
Yeah, well, in my experience, whenever I've been in, like, let's say I'm at the gym, I mean, besides like the few chads that are like super built, I feel like I am more capable. Like I look at my body and my performance and I'm just more capable than most people in there. And then when it comes to like my future soldier training, I outperform every man there.
Amongst the soldiers?
Men these days, like I feel like the majority of them are very like, they're not fit. They're not as fit as they should be. And a lot of the women I know are actually more like physically capable.
I do agree with it because I'm a pretty big bitch. I'm not gonna lie. Like I could definitely fight a dude. I could definitely beat a dude up.
Do you think you're stronger than the majority of men? So stronger than 51% of men?
Yes.
Also, yes.
You got any thoughts on about it? Because I mean, I play because it's kind of an extreme. It's nothing wrong with a woman working out, but it's like to a point where you're trying to outdo men. And it's kind of insane a bit. It's not a
No,
bit. It's insane.
I have a lot of respect for my male, you know, bodybuilding friends, but
Yeah.
it definitely is different because, like, I've had 4 children, right? I've had 4 kids, and when women are like in their 40s, working towards 50, things are changing. Like, we're not in like the pregnancy type stage anymore, and like things are changing for us. And men, like a friend of mine in the UK the other day said, like, it's really hard for women to start seeing results in the gym, a lot harder than it is for men. So I give them so much credit. I think it's just about respect. You know, I've learned a
Yeah.
lot from my male bodybuilding friends. I've seen them right before they go out on stage, like doing these push-ups like crazy, and like you can just see whether it's a man or a woman. If you have the heart of a champion, you know, it's you versus you, and it's like, just go out and have fun. That's all. you know, just respect everybody. It's tough. Like, this is definitely a tough sport, but it's very rewarding and it's fun.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, women working out, but it's like to a point where it's like to a point where you're just like degrading men and stuff. I mean, there are men that that they're not fit. There's women that's could be more fit than men, I would say, but it's like to an extreme. You trying to outdo men. It's something ain't right there.
Yeah, exactly. I love Bikini because I feel like Bikini is very, like, our posing and our physique is very feminine. I love it. I don't think I'm certainly not there to compete with any man. I'm just doing this for me, for myself, and loving every minute of it. So as long as you're in it for the right reason.
Yeah, I mean, well, it was just a teaser, a brain teaser for you.
Yeah, that was definitely. There's so much going on, like, in the gyms and stuff. I work out at home, but yeah, just jokes and stuff like that you see online, the men and women going at each other. But I think it's all in fun because we do learn a lot from each other in this sport.
Yeah.
And it's very inspiring because, like, all the different competitors that I've met, everybody brings something different to the stage. Like, some people have overcome, beat cancer. Some people have lost like 150 pounds and they're going out there. And it's just like, everybody's inspiring in their own way. Everybody has, become great just, within themselves. And they found something within themselves that they say like 99% of people wouldn't or don't do this. And so it is still pretty rare to make it to stage and to be a competitor. But yeah, all of those people have just, touched my heart along the way. I found so much joy in being inspired by the men and the women who share their stories. And it's just
That's really
like almost
good.
like a family. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a time, bodybuilding was on TV, but, after a while, it just kind of deceased. It just was getting like a bad rap,
Yeah.
So also men and women progress differently.
Yeah, that's like what I was saying. Like, it's, men see results quicker in the gym than women for whatever reason. But
yeah. Well, I don't want to take you hostage. I mean, I really appreciate you being here and you telling your story, and
yeah, thank you
something
so
to learn
much.
from.
Thank
Yeah,
you so much for
yeah,
having me. It was a lot of fun.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I would love to have you again months down the line, if you're open to it. Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah, I have some really fun things I have in the works in the fitness industry in the next couple of months that I'm so excited to
yeah.
share. So we'll definitely do it again.
I got one more question. Like, are you gonna still be doing like the constant back to back shows, or you're gonna like do like 4 times or
Yeah,
like?
I'm gonna just pick
Okay.
like a couple, favorites because I've tried so many different things. I'm gonna pick some things that just feel right for me this season.
All
And
right.
yeah, and I have some new fun things coming too.
All right. Yeah, I would love to keep in touch with you. Yeah. Thank
For
you
sure.
again.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
All right. Have a good time in the Bahamas.
I will for sure. Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye. Highlight this thing.